or I like anything with Liam Neeson in it. I love Liam Neeson. You know, he's I don't know. I'm very what's the word? I just love watching him. He's got a great presence on the screen, and his movies are always
Really?
I mean,
And
very action, but very you know, he's very genuine on the screen. I don't know. They keep me very engaged.
Yeah,
I
you
like
don't want to mess with Liam Neeson.
Nah.
Entre estrellas, entre estrellas.
Team TJ, we're so excited to have a very special guest. He's a well-known, very talented pastry chef from Australia. He is the host of his competition show Zumbo's Just Desserts and judge for Sugar Rush on Netflix. Here he is, Adriano Zumbo.
Adriano Zumbo.
All right. So I just want to explain to you what we usually do on the show. So we talk about our guests' history through their career, and then if we have time, we ask a bunch of random questions like about movies, just likes and things like that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's how
No
it's going.
problems.
Starting with the first question that we always ask: what have you done in the quarantine?
What have I done? Oh, not a lot. Hey, I think in quarantine's been a good time just to relax and get back to your roots. Really, just you know, and get to know yourself a bit better. You know, I guess life before that, I mean, it's always been quite fast. You know, obviously traveling or you know working or whatnot. And I mean, the last couple of years for me, it's just been. I mean, 2018, my business closed, so it's just kind of like getting over all the baggage that comes with something like that. So it's you know, COVID was good for me because it's I'm quite introverted anyway, so it was kind of similar to my normal lifestyle in a way, but obviously you just know that everyone else is doing the same, so it was a bit more relaxing.
Yeah, because we are always running and we don't have time.
For us,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a lot of
Yeah,
things going on, like we we go to events regularly, and I mean all of that kind of just got put on hold, and we're like, well, it's time for us to take a breather, I guess. And it gave us the opportunity to start interviewing people through Zoom and on Instagram Live. So like I think it was definitely needed to have like this break just for the world to kind of stop.
yeah, I think so. I think you're right. You know, I think I mean, as bad as it has been for a lot of things like businesses and whatnot, but I mean, I think just on a personal note, it's been quite amazing, you know, for people to just reconnect with life and you know the nature around us, and I think for local tourism as well. You know, I think because a lot of people can't travel because of restrictions and whatnot, and I think getting to know, I mean, people still have to get out of their house for a certain amount of time every day or every week or month or whatever the restrictions are around in the different countries are all different. So it's kind of it kind of makes you explore a little bit more of what's around you locally. Sometimes that you just forget about, even though something so beautiful is usually so close.
Yeah, and look to yourself.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, if what are you doing? If you are going to keep doing what you do or start new things, and I think this is the moment for.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, start. It's good. It is a good time for people to restart new things. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we know your parents own a grocery store where your love for food and pastries come about. But what made you take the path to dessert making?
I think you know, like obviously, as you said, yeah, my parents had a supermarket and a grocery store, and really, I was attracted to the candy. You know, all the lollies, the sweets, the biscuits. You know, all those things. At a young age, it was very exciting and very visual for me. You know, the colors and the textures and you know, and I'd have to say, I mean, at that young age, I mean, all the artificial flavors and stuff, you know, are quite addictive. Probably now, as I've grown older, I've developed obviously different taste palette and different understanding for, you know, obviously trying to keep it more natural. But at a young age, that was kind of what kind of got me, you know, that just kind of dragged me in. And I was at school and I wasn't very academic, you know. I mean, I could never focus at school. I was always my mind was always thinking about other things, and you know, it probably wasn't that I couldn't do good at school, as I wasn't focused enough in the majority of classes. Some classes I did really well, you know, obviously more hands-on classes. And I was good at maths because I worked in the grocery store, so I used to work on the cash register quite often, you know, so I became quite good at maths. But you know, that was about it. You know, maths, a few like woodwork, metalwork. I wouldn't say it was cooking classes, but they were like cooking classes, but they weren't full on cook. They were very basic. So, you know, I enjoyed those kind of classes. And geography. I enjoyed geography because I love travel, and I love the, you know, obviously the world. So but I got to the age of 15 and I just, you know, I was like, that's kind of like the youngest age you can leave school here in Australia is, you know, around 15. So, and really, I came to the point where I wanted to move away from home. I was at the age where I was young and I wanted to be free a little bit more. You know, when you're young, your parents sometimes, you know, try and keep you inside, and you know, you can't go to the parties or you can't go to this and that, and you know, all you want to do is break free. And I mean, I love my parents very much, but at that age, that's where I was, and it was that, plus the school not being academic, plus enjoying you know, doing bakery stuff and desserts, and it all kind of just came together, and decided to make a move. And I was very lucky because my sister, see, I grew up in a very small town in the countryside in Australia, and only 3,000 people, so very small, but very good place to grow up. But my sister lived in Sydney, which is obviously the major city, and she's much older than me. So I was very lucky that I was able to move in with her, and yeah, and move away at 15 from home and start my apprenticeship.
Wow.
That's so crazy. I could never imagine moving away at 15 years old. At 15, I was in my second year of high school, and I went to Europe with my school, and I thought it was so amazing to finally be away from home, but I knew that eventually it would be over and I would have to come back.
Yeah, no, it
So,
was pretty crazy. It was pretty.
like,
It was.
sorry.
No, what'd you say? Sorry.
Like you mentioned, you took off to Sydney, and if I'm not mistaken, that was in 1997, and you began an apprenticeship
Correct. Yeah.
as a pastry chef, where you worked alongside culinary icons like Ramon Morato and Pierre Hermé. What was it like? Tell us about this experience.
Yeah, so like in Sydney now, obviously I just worked in local establishments, but obviously with Ramon and Pierre, I just did like stages. Like I just worked with them for like a month. You know, obviously went to Paris for a month, and just worked for free. Ramon had the pleasure of, he came out to Australia for a food festival, and I decided to contact him because I knew he was coming out, and see if he wanted an assistant for the time he was there, if he needed any help. And luckily enough, you know, one of his team couldn't come, so he needed somebody to help him. So for the 2 weeks that he was in Australia, I literally was able to you know, help him with all his preparations and spend a lot of time with him, and get to know what a great guy he really is. And you know, he's probably one of the most amazing icons, I think, in our industry, because A, for his talent, but two, for the person that he is. He's a very kind and warming, and you know, he didn't know me from anything really, and he treated me like I was part of his family. You know, like there's not many chefs that would do that.
Yeah.
Completely, right? You know, I mean, they'll just sometimes I want your help, see you later. But you know, he took me everywhere with him, and you know, and he's an amazing guy.
That sounds so lovely. I hope I have the opportunity to work with people like that, and hopefully even work with you. The
Just
quarantine actually
starting
made me,
in bakery
yeah,
and
I
dessert
go back to
making.
school. I was like, well, I want to go back to school and study something that I actually really like to do, which is baking. So I'm majoring in culinary arts right now, and I haven't started like my actual cooking classes because it's my first semester, so I have to go through like the safety classes, but I'm beyond excited to get in there and do all that baking stuff because I bake like as a hobby in my free time. And I remember when I first started watching Sugar Rush, I was like, oh my God, Adriano's on the show. This is so amazing. And I got so addicted to Sugar Rush that I got Luis into it. So it's something that we watch together now and we absolutely love it.
And
Oh, that's
then
awesome.
we start watching your show, Zumbo Just Desserts. That it's
Which
amazing.
Oh yeah.
get into in a few questions.
Well, in 2007, you opened your very first pastry shop in Belmont, New South Wales. How did it feel?
Uh, it was scary, you know. Definitely the first time I opened a shop, it was very scary. Um, it was, you know, I mean, taking the step to all that risk, you know. I think, you know, paying rent, having a kitchen, having responsibilities to have to try and make all the product to fill the store. You know, I didn't really employ people when I first started. I had, you know, had some family help me for the first few months, and then obviously, which led to be able to have a little bit of income to be able to get one employee, and then, you know, obviously grow from there. But also just I think it's just the unknown, right? You know, I mean, when you cook for other people, I mean, it's a given, right? You know, you work for a business and you can tell, you know, whether there's customers or whether there's a purpose to do to serve someone. But you know, when you open your own, it's like, are people going to come? You know, and you kind of worry that you know, I'm going to open this shop, and what if nobody likes what I make? You know, and because back in 2007 when I opened my first store, and you know, the stuff that we kind of made when we opened was quite different for that time, for that piece in time. For now, it's nothing. You know, I mean, the industry's developed so rapidly in the last 10 years. It's incredible to see where creativity and the level of creativity is at now. You know, with social media, with all this stuff and all the activity, and obviously from that, so many countries, industries have grown and developed in what's to offer to the consumer, you know, through shops and patisseries and boutiques and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I definitely say it was scary. It was a lot of adrenaline. It was exciting though. I mean, it was very exciting. You know, to have your own name on the place, and to be able to make stuff that you wanted to make. And you know, I mean, the excitement overcame the fear. But yeah, definitely it was a scary time to start. And you know, I was lucky to have some good friends around me who helped me along the way at the start, and to push on. And yeah, we got there. You know, obviously it grew with popularity and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's the best part because you have friends to support you and to help you, and that's something that not everyone can have sometimes because in these areas are very um how can I say it, hard.
And
um
there's some parts of Mexico where like the arts, things like that, aren't really like celebrated. Like people go, but the people that go to celebrate these kinds of arts, like whether it's theater or culinary things, it's the people that are involved in those communities. Like if you're studying theater, well, obviously you're going to go watch theater. It's something that you enjoy. And if you're studying culinary arts, then you're going to go see something that has to do with that because it's what you're interested in. But it's not something that a lot of people in Mexico really support, at least not where we are. It's kind of like you have to drag those people out to these kinds of things. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's kind of hard in different areas. So, I mean, it's scary. I understand you saying that it's scary because when I think about opening my own shop, I'm like, what if nobody ever wants to buy anything from me? What if they don't like it?
Or what can I do different?
Yeah, what do I
yeah, that's
do to catch their attention?
yeah, and that's the hard thing, right? I think, and in a current day like now, is it's very hard to be different. To be different, you have to be very, very advanced sometimes in technology, and then in the end, that's not very cost effective. So, I think sometimes you really just got to bite the bullet and say, well, I'm just going to make this as best as I can. It doesn't matter to be too different. You've obviously got to have your own personality and stick to who you are, but I think reality is that someone around the world's probably doing something similar to you anyway. The world is a big place, and the one thing I've learned over the years is just like there's a lot of people that have similar thinking patterns in their minds. So you'll see a lot of stuff that can be similar ideas from all over the place. So and you can sometimes beat yourself up over it. You're thinking that, oh no, I'm not original, I'm not this, I can't do that. And literally you just got to kind of try and block all that out, because you just got to do what you want to do, and forget about what's going on around you, because people are going to buy into your personality, your creativity, your ideas, and the person that you are. I think that's the key thing. If you go into something like that, you got to remember, and sometimes you can lose that, if you're not too careful.
100%. So in 2009, you made your first appearance on MasterChef Australia. Which appearance was your favorite?
Mm, I'd have to say the first one. I think the Croquembouche was the original. It was favorite because it was just exciting. It was something new, and unknown. I'd never, when I got kind of called up to help out with that, I was never going on the show. It was just to help them out, and obviously, eventually, at the end, I carried it out, and I was on set and on the show. Was and I never thought anything of it. Like I thought, oh, cool, yeah, cool. And then when the show came on, uh, I don't even think I watched it, to be honest. I can't remember. But then the business started to get busier, and then I did a few more episodes that season, and it wasn't until really to the end of the season until people were like ringing and queuing up, like, to realize the power of sometimes just going on the rawness and the power of going on a show like that. Especially in its early days, it was incredible. It was very, very surreal, and it was, yeah. I mean, it was a really tough time in, like, trying to cope with all the demand. I think, which is not a bad thing, but it was definitely a learning experience early on in my business journey.
It's a lot when it's something that you've never dealt with before.
Yeah, it was insane. I still remember parts of it. It was just like, yeah, we didn't know what to do. You couldn't, like, suddenly just hire a whole new team. You sort of had to let it. Yeah, had to let it grow gradually, because it was So we had to restrict everything. We only made 100 of these, and then the first 100 people got it. That was it. We kind of just kept it like that, and that worked. It worked. We could cope with it, and people felt more special who got them, and um, you know,
You released your first book, Adriano Zumbo's Fantastical Kitchen of Otherworldly Delights, in 2011, and two more books just a few years after that. What inspired you to write them?
I think I think mainly the demand, right? People obviously wanted to learn, or have a connection to what you create, and the craft that you do. So obviously being able to put it into a book format was quite exciting, and for people to be able to try and replicate what you do at home. Some people will just look at it and like a coffee table book, but I mean, a lot of people actually use it, so, which is great. And obviously that's what you want. You want people to use your book and get enjoyment and obviously develop their skills. So it's it's a good thing when I think you can put your knowledge and your passion into a book.
I'm hoping to buy one soon so I can recreate all the things in one of those books.
Yeah. I mean, they're hard to come by now. They're all out of print, unfortunately, but like they're still around. Some still around here and
Yeah,
there.
I think this one, Fantastical Kitchen of Otherworldly Delights, I found it on Amazon and it's like $400. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
crazy for one book. Oh my God. But I mean, I'm sure it's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd pay $400 for it, but yeah, it's
I probably would. I love cookbooks. I love them. So I probably would
same.
pay that much for a cookbook.
Yeah, I got hundreds of cookbooks. It's I love collecting cookbooks. I think it's fascinating to see all the different styles and different creative sort of pathways that everyone has, and just all the different knowledge and how because I think you can read books on similar things and they're completely different. So I think it's interesting when you're learning something or when you're trying to develop your skills is that it's what you make of it, right? So you could read two books and they're completely different about the same product, but then you might take bits and pieces of both and make it into your interpretation of what you like to do with that product. So I think it's very interesting and very I think it's definitely a must, right? To try and read and research as much as you can and because it develops who you are.
So Zumbo's Just Desserts premiered in 2016 on Seven Network in Australia, and then it was brought to Netflix in 2019 for its second season. Where did the idea for the show come from, and will there be a third season?
Well, the idea for the show came from the network. Really, they approached me saying they wanted to do a dessert show, and was I interested? And I said, yeah, sure. And yeah, it kind of started there. Third season, I don't know. Hey, it's up to the network. I mean, I don't really control that, so it's kind of usually just comes out of the blue, sort of thing. It's you won't hear anything from them for 1 or 2 years, or 12 months, 18 months, and then all of a sudden, they'll say, "Oh, are you free at this time? We want to do another season." So it's kind of you just sit in a lurch. You just kind of forget about it, and if you get a call up, great. If not, then you get on with your daily life. I guess it's yeah, it's not like I don't know. Obviously some of these TV series are quite planned and season 1 and season 2 and blah blah blah. But I don't know. It's been a little bit different for that. It hasn't been very consistent. So
Fingers crossed,
I hope
because
they do, but at least we can watch you on Sugar Rush.
really addicted to that show.
yeah,
I remember when we found out that it was on Netflix, we were like, "Oh my God, we have to watch this." And then we watched season 1, I think, in like 3 days or something like that. And
oh
then
nice.
we watched it in about a week. But yeah, we got through it pretty fast because I was just like, I need to see what happens next. I need to see who's gonna get eliminated next. And we kept hoping that it wasn't our favorite person. And oh my God, it was such a roller coaster of emotions, but we loved the show.
Oh, that's good to hear.
And,
That's good.
and
Yeah.
the most amazing thing is that in every episode you keep amazing us with all the desserts, all the cakes. I was like, oh my God, how?
Every Zumbo test, we were like, how are they going to do that? It was so crazy, so out of this world. We really do hope that there will be a third season because I'm ready for more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one of
no,
my
definitely.
favorite, I think it was the Willy Wonka hat
Oh
that can
yeah.
rotate, and it was no, that was for sure. I think it was a cake, but covered in a mirror water, or how it's called.
The oh, that
Oh,
was
like a mirror glaze in
Yeah, a
the
mirror
look.
glaze.
Oh yeah. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, the first one is I think the first episode. It's like this, looks like a stone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
What? That's so crazy. Yeah. It's insane.
yeah. It's pretty. It's a fun thing to be a part of and to do. He's just to be able to create with. I mean, you can make anything you want really in life. It's just about finding a way to do it. Sometimes it's and that can take a day or a year. And it's just I think the challenge is exciting when you get a project like that because I mean it's restrictive as well because obviously there's time limits. So sometimes you have to. I mean, the original idea has to be cut right back, to make it achievable in 3 hours or 4 hours, and also by amateurs. So I always put my hats off to all of them because to step in there, but they get so excited. They get scared at first, but then when they're in there starting to do it, they get into it and get excited, which is it's always good to watch, and they push through, which shows great strength, and I think only once someone hasn't put anything up, but every other time, there's always been everything presented, which has been great. So
I think every time there was a Zumbo test and like the time was running out, I would get just as stressed out as they were. I'm like, I can't even watch this. It was really stressful at some points, but like that's how good the show is, that even if it's stressful, like it keeps you really hooked.
yeah, totally. No, it keeps you in the. You're right. It keeps you watching.
Of all the competition shows you've been on, which one has been your favorite?
Oh, I think they're all very different. It's hard to pick a favorite because they're quite I mean, all three have been quite different. I mean, MasterChef. I was a guest chef on many episodes, and I literally came in as a doing pressure tests. So I was in there to create pressure to make the last whatever the four contestants in the in the challenge sweat it out to stay in the competition, and that was kind of like my my job, and it was very enjoyable. I mean, I loved my years, like obviously being a part of that show, and literally, I mean, you can't thank it enough because it was the start of obviously myself growing a good profile, from what became of a great show that MasterChef Australia is. And I mean, the team there's amazing. The people behind the scenes, the contestants, is all amazing. So I enjoyed that thoroughly. Zumbo's Just Desserts. I mean, obviously being able to host a show and sort of and create your own creations on every episode is a lot of work, but it's a lot of enjoyment and a lot of fulfillment as well. Because when you see what's been created and you see the reaction, it's very it's a good feeling. Like it really makes you feel amazing, and it's like anything when you create something and it works, it's like it's that feeling. So and to have my name on the show, on the title, is you can't ask for much more. So I mean that show has a big part of my heart, because it has a lot of personality about me in a sense. And then Sugar Rush is awesome. It's it's probably the funnest show is Sugar Rush. I think it's being with Hunter and Candace. The Hunter's one of the funniest guys I know. He's so fast. He's so quick with lines and words, and he's super intelligent. And very I don't know what the word is, but he amazes me all the time. He's got an answer for everything. So and I think that takes a great skill. And he's got a beautiful gift as a host. And so I think to be around them, it's just a lot of fun and a lot of great energy. and obviously with the contestants in the challenges and stuff, the bakers, it's so amazing to see what they put up, you know, in the time frame. It's because obviously that shows professionals, so it's a bit different to the other two where they're amateurs. But it's, you know, so when you see the professionals, obviously they come with a targeted plan, and you know, some of the detail and the skill that they put up is truly amazing. You know, in that thing, is blows you away, and you're like, wow. You know, and I always learn something every season off that show. I'm always going away with a new idea or a new technique, you know, from the other bakers. So, you know, it's always good to be around like-minded and passionate people, and you know, and the whole team and everyone there is very relaxed and amazing as well. So it's good. So I mean, they're all different in their own spirit, in their own concept. So I don't really have a favorite. I couldn't take a favorite because I would be literally like, because they don't compare. So I mean, they're all my favorite. You know, I have to say, like, you know, in their own way, they've all been a different part of my life. So yeah.
Actually had the chance to interview him a couple months back,
Yeah.
and it was such a delight to have him. He is so funny and really is such a kind person.
Yeah, no, he's an amazing guy. You know, yeah, he's just fun to be around. You know, I think he can bring a light to any moment, to any situation, to anything. And you know, I think there's not many people like that. And you know, so it's I could sit and watch him all day. Yeah.
So you have an amazing talent for making extraordinary things. Where do all your ideas to make such innovative desserts come from?
I think it's just come from, you know, I think life is an inspiration, right? I think everything around us, you know, the air we breathe, you know, the ground we step on, the nature, the childhood, the all the shapes and geometric things of buildings, of anything can be inspiration, right? It's just how you absorb it, what your personality is in how to perceive what you can see and what you can take from it, whether it's the pattern on a placemat, like on a tablecloth or something, you know, like it could be anything. You literally look at it and go, I love that design. I'm gonna print that in chocolate, or I'm gonna, you know, make that in a shape of a mold, or try and build it. I mean, it's anything at all, you know, from like I said, like a flavor, a favorite supermarket product, you know, when you were a kid that used to buy, you know, how can I make it into something modern and something more delicious? You know, to all your natural cultural dishes of your country, you know, it could be anything like that. You know, even just walking and seeing a tree branch or a flower, you know, it's endless. It's endless what you can think of, right? And it could even go into like some inspiration for me is names, you know, like a phrase or a slogan or a name, or, you know, it can start from that way as well. So it's pretty much endless. And it's just up to you what your imagination can process and spit out. You know, it's literally one of those things, and we're all developed slightly different in that way, right? And I think a lot of it comes from when we're in our childhood, and the perception of thinking as we are a child, as we grow up. You know, whether some people are left alone a lot more than others, whether some people are more have been more included in large gatherings and conversations, and it all trains our brain to think differently. You know, that's what I think anyway. You know, and I think that personality that you grow as a kid, you know, I spent a lot of time by myself. You know, my parents worked a lot, so I was always by myself. So I think a lot. I think about things, you know, things I see, you know, because I'm always looking out what's around me, because I spend a lot of time doing that, you know. Whereas some people might not see things like that. Some people will walk past those things that I see because they're used to being busy all the time, or in a large gathering, and they've been more focused on the people, the conversation and stuff like that. So maybe they get more inspiration from things like that. So, you know, there's different ways of looking at it. But inspiration is literally everything around us, and it's just a development, I think, as well of the craft that you do. So for me, it's building that call it the mental flavor encyclopedia, right? It's of moments and memories of eating taste and texture and looks, and you remember all those things in your head, right? And it just kind of, it gets embedded, you know, whether it's good or bad, you know, and that kind of sticks with you for forever. And it's all about just using all those moments and experiences and trying to, you know, push them around and make them better and incorporate them into your new creations or what you intend on putting forward.
Yeah, I can relate that to acting or actually any art because we like artists, we always looking around and study things, and I don't know, it's something that we need to do our thing.
Yeah, totally.
What do you enjoy most about dessert making?
I think the most enjoyable thing about dessert making is just obviously being able to bring happiness and joy to other people who eat and obviously enjoy them. From that side, for myself, it's more just being able to have creative freedom. You know, I think and being able to express something, you know, that to have the skill to be able to express something that I like to do. You know, and I really enjoy that. You know, the the different flavors, the endless amounts of combinations, textures. You know, it's just such a interesting um, an interesting job. You know, making desserts and just like I said, it's an art. You know, it's an art form. You know, and it can be in many different ways. You know, whether it's sugar art, whether the art is in maybe your art is in your flavor combinations. It doesn't have to be visual in the way it looks. You know, it can be your art can be different things. You know, you may be good at making great textures and great flavors. It's not always has to be a beautiful looking piece, right? Art is whatever you say it is. You know, you can make art in your own way to how you want, right? I can throw ice cream and something on a plate and call it art because it's art to me, right? You know, it's so you know you got to, as I say, you got to believe in what you do and you know, be proud of what you do and you know, never do something just because somebody else is doing it. You know, I think it's obviously, you know, because a lot of times, sometimes we can easily get carried away and follow what everyone else is, whether it's a trend or whatnot. And I mean, in some cases, maybe if you have a business, you might have to do a little bit of that because obviously customers are demanding it. But in your own personal note, you should always, you know, believe in what you enjoy doing as well. You know, so you can create your own world.
Yeah, you have to do things because you like to do them, or because you love them, not because, oh, I just want to be famous, or I just want to be well
Popular.
known for people.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's so true. You know, you really got to do it because you love doing it, and the other stuff it's a bonus if it comes along. If it doesn't, then it shouldn't matter. So
Yeah, because if you're just waiting for that, then you're never gonna be happy.
Exactly.
exactly, great point. Great point. You know, so true.
You are a man of many nicknames. Where did the nickname Sweet Assassin come from, which is also your Instagram username?
Oh yeah, it came from Masterchef Australia. You know, on my many years in the early days of obviously being a part of that show was literally every year I had a different nickname. You know, so you know, obviously the Dark Lord of Pastry, Sweet Assassin, Patissier of Pain. You know, so many different things, and that was literally generated by the hosts on the show. You know, always you know, welcoming me into the studio and stuff like that, and you know, a few of them are just stuck with me. You know, and you know, I think I mean I kind of enjoy it. I mean I've enjoyed having that nickname. So
Do you have any projects coming once everything startups again?
what was that? Sorry.
Do you have any projects coming once everything startup again?
No, nothing nothing lined up, so I don't really have anything that's in the works. Just things like just thinking about things. I think it's a different landscape now. I think with the world. I mean, a lot of places still in travel restrictions, and a lot of economies, obviously, in business and retail have been damaged quite heavily in different sectors, different categories. So it's just about looking like, what's the demand, for people now. I think people kind of start to think about things differently now, obviously because of what has happened in lockdown or in COVID. They've had to do things differently because of restrictions and have to stay home or whatnot. So it just depends on what I think what the demand is and where people see their future, and how you got to see how you fit into that. I think that's why I don't want to rush into anything, because I want to obviously do something that I enjoy, not just something because I have to, and I'll just see what happens, I guess.
Okay, we're going to ask a few random questions, and then we're going to finish off with the question that we usually ask to end our interviews. So, Luis, go
First
ahead.
question. What movies or shows do you recommend?
New movies or just in general?
In general,
Shows.
whatever you want.
Shows. I've been watching. Last show I've been into lately is Ozark. It's been my #1 show. Movies. I like to watch a lot of old movies. I watch Fast and Furious a lot. What else have I been watching? I like a lot of comedies. So a lot of Adam Sandler movies, and
So you
Vince
watch
Vaughn
Huey Halloween?
I watched Huey Halloween. It's not my favorite one of his, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I did watch that a week ago. But yeah, I like a lot of his old stuff. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Blended, all those kind of movies where he's pretty funny, and his stuff's quite consistent, which is good. Or I like anything with Liam Neeson in it. I love Liam Neeson. He's I don't know. I'm very what's the word? I just love watching him. He's got a great presence on the screen, and his movies are always I mean, very action, but very he's very genuine on the screen. I don't know. They keep me very engaged.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Liam Neeson.
Nah. Nah.
I feel like anything that he puts into a movie, like he could actually do in real life. Like, it's so believable that I'm like,
Yeah.
he could do that in real life.
That's true. He's believable. What's that one that one in the snow? The snow one. I can't remember.
Oh, we just watched it.
What's that one? Oh,
what's it called? Something Patrol, is it?
Yeah, but oh my
that was
God,
a great one.
Oh, intense. We were like,
Intense.
what the whole time?
Yeah.
I remember I went to Paris when I was 15. Real big mistake, but I watched Taken, and my cousins were like, if you get kidnapped, we're gonna call Liam Neeson to save you. And I'm like, that's true, he could save me.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good movie.
Next question. Who's your favorite singer?
My favorite singer? Oh, at the moment, I'm listening to a lot of Rufus Du Sol. But overall, I'd have to say either Johnny Cash, as I'm wearing a Johnny Cash t-shirt, but or Coldplay.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're very different in their sounds, but I like different. I'm very eclectic in music. I listen to different things and different moods and stuff like that. So I really enjoy the difference of good music.
So many different music genres on my phone, and people are like, I can't believe you really listen to all this stuff. And I'm like, there's a different music, different type of music for the way that you're feeling. And I just love to listen to all of it.
I agree. Exactly. I'm exactly the same.
So from all the desserts that you have done, what's your favorite to make?
Um, I enjoy everything. I think you got to. I mean, you have to enjoy everything if you want to be in this industry and this profession. You got to enjoy making everything, and everything has its challenges and it's it's enjoyment and that keeps the mind ticking. When there's a challenge and something, you get very into it and very excited. I always love to try and evolve everything and keep developing. So my favorite dessert to make, is everything, but I'd probably say some of my most memorable would be to make macarons and the V8 cake. I think it's probably my favorite creations of over the years is probably be those. But I enjoy everything.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book, cookbook. I mean, I don't really read other books.
Cookbook works.
Favorite. Oh, geez, so many. I've got so many. I don't know. That's a hard question. That's the hardest question because there's just so many different. There's so many different categories, right? Like you got bread, you got chocolate, and to try and pick one out of all of those is hard. I'd probably say my favorite chocolate book is Ramon Morato's. My favorite dessert books would be probably like Pierre Hermé, in the way of like all Larousse, the Larousse desserts book, because I think it gives you a lot of individual components where you can create your own. So it's obviously good for people who want to be creative, I think, and giving you the stepping stones to be able to combine different textures. And my favorite bread book would have to be Modernist Bread.
Okay. Next question. If you could be a superhero, who would you be?
I would be Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Nobody's ever said that before. They always say Batman or Iron Man.
I'd say Deadpool because he's
Deadpool.
he's got good humor.
Yes.
And he's got he's got good intentions in mind, and and he's strong. He's got all the advantages of all those other superheroes as well.
So to close off this interview, we would like to ask, what advice do you want to give to those who want to pursue a career in culinary arts or pastry arts?
My biggest advice would be, obviously, make sure you have a passion. Obviously, I think to get into food, you really have to love it. It's not a job; it's a lifestyle. I always say that it's like you don't go to work every day and say it's like work. You just live it. Just live it. Like even if you're not at work, you're thinking about it. You're at home on the weekend, you want to make something, or you're thinking about how I can make that better, or you're thinking of inspiration or ideas how to make a new design. So it's a lifestyle. And if you get into your own business one day, it's definitely a lifestyle because you have to live it, right? If you've got a business and you have to open 5 or 7 days or whatever, you need to be there all the time. So that's for starters. Secondly, is to be yourself. I think create your own personality. Obviously, I mean, you need to start somewhere. So getting inspired and taking direction from other people's great. Do that, but always have the vision to be on a path to create your own personality and who you are, what you like to do, and how you like to do it, and always believe in that. I think it's something you need to believe in. I mean, there's many different ways to make something, so never get. A lot of people go, oh yeah, but this person said it had to be made this way and that way. Everybody's different, and the beautiful about being an artist is that you can be whatever you want in any way. There's no right or wrong, in how to make a sponge cake. There's better ways to achieve it, but sometimes you might find something different that other people don't know, and that's your way. So if that makes you happy, you got to do that. So always be yourself, believe in yourself, believe in what you can do. That's key. Secondly, it's just don't be scared of mistakes. I think they're going to come anyway in life. Mistakes, failure, getting knocked down, that's life. It happens all the time in any industry, in anything, but also happens a lot in food or in cooking. Mistakes happen, things fail, products, people don't like things, people will knock you down online, whatever it is. There's always going to be those people. And I think the key thing is to grow thick skin, and to always know that those challenges will make you a better person, and those challenges will make you have better learnings in life. And so always look at them in those ways. I think you really got to take the positives from those things, and it's always a good attribute to have. And just be respectful of everyone. I think being respectful of all your people who follow you, for people who teach you, who work with, whoever, is obviously try and respect everybody so they can respect you in the same way. And just, I always say, turn your imagination into reality. That's the key thing, right? It's to empty your brain and make it real. Keep finding ways to develop, set yourself some goals, some dreams, and chase them. Those goals and dreams may change along the way in life. They different circumstances, like now, like COVID, and your pathway will take a different direction, but it's still going towards the same end goal. Always have that end goal. The pathway will find its own way to wherever you want to go, and it'll evolve over time, and it'll change. But it's like a map. Just adds a new road to the way there. So I think that's probably my best advice. Obviously for someone who wants to get into the industry and be a pastry chef or dessert maker, is those things. And the biggest thing of all is to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then it's not worth it. You got to find enjoyment in it, and wherever it is, don't take yourself too seriously. You got to obviously be professional and like I said, respectful, but don't take yourself too seriously. Be able to be open-minded and flexible, and take a joke or have a joke. And I think it makes it better for everybody, and a lot more happiness.
Well, Adriano, we want to sincerely thank you for accepting this interview. We are so, so grateful and so honored. This experience was honestly surreal to me. Leading up to this interview, I was like, I can't believe this is actually happening. We're going to get to talk to him, and he's so inspiring to me. This can't be real. So honestly, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. We want to let you know that if you ever want to promote something with us, you have us on Instagram. You could send us anything through email. Our doors are open for you for our program, and we hope to, when everything starts to come back to normal, that we get to meet up in person and hopefully do an interview with you in person.
Yeah, awesome. No, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure to chat with you both, and it was good fun. And same, hopefully, everything settles down in the new year, and can get over to Mexico one day, and explore a bit more, and meet you guys, and see the great culture, get some good chocolate.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Adriano. It was a pleasure, and we'll see you another time.
No worries.
Our day is ending, but yours is just beginning. So we hope you have a good day.
Yeah, well, have a good night and have a good weekend. It's a weekend tomorrow, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
We hope you have a great continued weekend.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Tim, muchísimas gracias por habernos acompañado el día de hoy. Espero que les haya gustado mucho esta entrevista. La verdad que fue un gran honor para nosotros haber tenido a Adriano aquí en el programa. Nos divertimos mucho. Un sueño para Lili. Y pues nada, muchísimas gracias. Recuerden que si no están suscritos al canal, suscríbanse para que vean más contenido. Vayan y síganos en nuestro Instagram, TA3 porque tenemos a unos invitadazos muy, muy buenos para que estén al pendiente. Y pues nada, nos vemos en la próxima entrevista. Adiós, Team TJ.